Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. Today I would like to talk about a subject that I'm extremely passionate about, okay? And it solves a lot of your problems. Whether we have an economical collapse or we have a food shortage. Now, all you see in front of you is the canned goods that I use on a very regular basis, okay? The cut okra I drain it, put cornmeal on it, and I fry it. I like to have some things in cans because if something happens to the freezer, you can forget it. And where I live, just growing a garden is not feasible. I've had for the last 4 or 5 years, hail destroy my entire garden. Water has become extremely expensive. So to me, this is cheaper to do. May come a time when I have no other choice but to try to grow a garden, but I did it for years and years and canned for years and years. The black-eyed peas I use quite often too. Now, what I want to explain to you is how to prep your pantry, but without it destroying your budget. Now, there's a lot of people out there, and I've seen the comments in other videos, and I can't afford to stock and store. I don't have that kind of money. I'm feeding a family of 4 or I'm feeding a family of 3. I'm going to show you what I learned because I could not and got sick and tired of spending hundreds of dollars at the grocery store every week. What I did, because this is something I've been doing most of my life, is I'm a change saver. I throw change in the piggy bank, and if I find any change on my Nutter Butter or anything, I'll steal it and throw it in my piggy bank. Well, I got an idea one day because I found those black-eyed peas that you see there for 33 cents a can. And I wanted those black-eyed peas because we eat a lot of black-eyed peas. And I said, wait a minute. I have a whole lot of change. And I took all my change out, took it down, rolled it first, took it down to the store, and they accepted it. And I bought myself 52 cans of black-eyed peas at 33 cents and came home with still a couple of more change, rolls extra that I had. So I held on to that, and I kept holding on to it, and I did the same thing with the sweet peas. The sweet peas went on sale, and I took all my change and I went down and I did the same thing. Now, I kept grocery shopping because I didn't have my pantry completely stocked, and there was things that I wanted and needed, and I still had to keep grocery shopping because I had to, fill. I didn't have everything, okay? Even not everything in my freezer was up to where it should be yet. But I kept saving my change and watching the sales. And I only bought things that were on sale. That was the only way I would buy it. That's what I was doing with any kind of meat. I have goats and I have chickens and they're free for me. And I do butcher them and put them in the freezer. But sometimes I do like hamburger meat. And so I will only buy it when it's on sale for $1.79 a pound. Sometimes it's $1.99. And that's pretty much all I do with meat. Occasionally, I will buy a pork steak that's when it's 99 cents because I like it battered and deep fried. And I used to raise pigs, and I've even raised cows when I was younger, but I'm past that. That's too, when you get old, that becomes more than you want to live with because we not only killed it, we cut all the meat, we packaged it and froze it and put it in our freezer, and that is an enormous amount of work. So I stick with goats and chickens. They're much easier to take care of and much easier to put into your freezer. But back to what I'm saying about all this. I did that with every single canned good. I don't have a lot of, I don't use a lot of canned vegetables, really. I have my basics that I do like to use, and these are what's in front of me. And the tomatoes, I make salsas. I freeze my jalapenos, I roast them, wrap them up individually in aluminum foil, and I freeze them to make my salsa. And then I open a can of whole tomatoes and make my salsa with the tomatoes and with the jalapenos. But also, stews, soups, great. If you like tacos or sandwiches, you can use chopped tomatoes that come in a can. They work wonderfully. It will replace the fresh for sandwiches and for tacos or wherever you want a little tomato at. Salmon you're not going to find on sale, but I will pay regular price for it because I think it's so good for you. And if you were in a really bad situation and we had an economical collapse or we did have some major food shortages, something like salmon is something you really would need. Your body would need it for stress. It's just extremely good for our bodies, and it would be one of those foods that would really come in handy to make patties or just eat straight from the can on little crackers with hot sauce. But like I said, when it comes to this right here, save your change. Keep saving your change and keep putting it in a piggy bank and only shop sales. I don't care if it's a store you've never gone to before in your life. If they have that can item on sale, go to it and purchase only that can item. You will eventually get to the point where you will have enough cans to do you for a lifetime without hurting your wallet or your weekly groceries. Do the same thing with meat. If you're a person that does not raise animals, only buy meat when it's on sale. That's it. Chicken leg quarters or chicken breast or hamburger meat. Never pay full price. You can even buy that with your change also. Put your change away when you got $15, $20. We get hamburger meat here sometimes for 99 cents a pound, $1.70 a pound. It comes in a 10-pound roll. You will get enough change to buy yourself 2 or 3 of those rolls when it's on sale. If you're really putting that change away and being consistent with it. And don't spend it on something else. It is to stock your freezer and your pantry, because the end goal is for you not to have to grocery shop. You buy your flour on sale. I have beans. They put them on sale here all the time, but I have hundreds of pounds of pinto beans. But they would put them here for sale for $6.90, and I would buy 3 or 4 bags of them, and I have hundreds of pounds. So right now I'm not looking to replace any because I know I have plenty of beans. I have all kinds of types of beans that I save. I have sugar. I buy it on sale. Butter in the freezer. I buy it on sale. The only thing that I really don't buy, because it's milk. You know, I don't like freezing milk, although you can. But I'm to the point, I have all my baking sodas. I have everything that I need to cook with. You have to sit down, ask yourself, think of everything that you cook with, everything that you use on a regular basis, and that's what you want to have your pantry and your freezer stocked with. Okay? Now, you might not be able to, you might use a lot of lettuce, and you may have to pick up a head of lettuce. But when you get yourself really prepared with your pantry, you will find out you will only end up spending a couple of dollars a week instead of hundreds. Potatoes. They used to be 99 cents. I would find them all the time for that price. Now I can't find them for 99 cents for a 10-pound bag. Regularly here, they're $3.97, but I do find them for $1.70 quite often. I will buy 40 or 50 pounds. I will make mashed potatoes and freeze them, hash browns and freeze them, baked potatoes and freeze them, so that whenever I want potatoes, no matter what it is, if I want potato patties or mashed potatoes, or I want hash browns for breakfast, or if I want a baked potato for dinner, I have it in my freezer, and all I have to do is kind of like you call heat and eat, and it tastes just like fresh does. I can't tell any difference from it, and neither can my family. I do the same thing with zucchini. I wash the zucchini, I slice the zucchini, I sprinkle cornmeal over the top of it, and I freeze it in freezer bags. When I want fried zucchini, I do not unthaw it. I put my oil in my pan, lard, whatever you use, and I put that frozen zucchini down in that skillet, and I cook it. Tastes as good as fresh. Same thing with corn on the cob. I do not pull the husk off of it. I put it in the freezer bags with the husk on it. I trim the silk, because if you don't trim the silk, it will break off and you'll have all that silk, the little silk that hangs out, it'll be all inside those freezer bags. You don't have to blanch anything. My grandmother didn't blanch, my mother didn't blanch, and none of us could tell the difference. So, but once you do this, and I mean this, you will not have to grocery shop anymore. Hundreds of dollars going out your door a week or a month will end. You do it by saving your change. You will never know the difference until you have it completely stocked. If your goal is 6 months, you'll have it stocked. If your goal is a year, you'll have it stocked. I now have mine stocked for an entire year with what my family uses. I don't have to go to the store other than a gallon of milk. Sometimes I buy a loaf of bread, but I'm not too worried because in the hot heat, bread, unless you keep it in the refrigerator, molds on you. So I've got to the point where I just make some for whenever I want it. And bread to me is not a problem because I have 50-pound bags of flour that I buy on sale. Sugar. Remember, everything that you use, you make that list. And as you get a year's supply of it, you check it off that list. You go to the next item and you keep going until you have everything that you use on a regular basis in your pantry. If you use cocoa, your supply of cocoa. If you use peanut butter to bake with or sandwich, get yourself a year supply, okay? Whatever it is that you use so that you do not grocery shop any longer and you do it with change that you have saved. You might have to, if you don't have chickens, on a weekly basis, you may have to buy some eggs. I have chickens, so I don't have to do that. But you may have to. You may have to buy some eggs. You may have to buy yourself a loaf of bread and a gallon of milk. But anything else, you can stock and store, and the rest of it you can freeze. I hope you found this to be helpful. I seriously mean this. This is a gold mine way to prepare against high prices and food shortages. And it will not hurt your pocketbook because you are strictly doing it with change. And you will be able to get it done within a few months. It won't take long because change builds up to be $30 and $40 a month. You'd be surprised how much change you walk around. You're always using it, yes. And that's why it doesn't seem to be this big accumulation of it. But if you don't use it and you put it in a piggy bank, it doesn't take long. Let's stop and think about it. If I got this for 33 cents a can and I bought 52 cans, how much is it? If I get this for 50 cents a can, but I didn't, I got it for 60. But recently I got some for even less than that. 20 cans for 10 bucks. You can save 10 bucks easily in a month. 10 bucks for 20 cans. 30? How many have you got? You got 30, 40, 50. Doesn't take long. You got a whole year's supply. So, and you don't ever have to grocery shop again. All you do is go back, replace what you've used when it's on sale. Don't buy anything when it's not on sale. Food costs us enough as it is. Why pay full price for anything? I only shop sales, and now I finally made it where I don't have to shop for anything but replace what I use. And that is it. And that only costs me $3 or $4, maybe every couple of weeks, because they don't put sales on every single week, especially with what you want or maybe even what you need. Well, I hope you found this to be informative. And remember, it doesn't hurt to be prepared. We never know what life might bring. A lost job, a car may go down and we need to get it prepared, fixed. And we're short money for groceries and that kind of thing. Illness, we don't know. So if people try to tell you, oh, being a prepper or prepping is just ridiculous, that's being silly, remember one thing. It doesn't matter, because if you're prepared and something goes wrong, you'll always have something to eat. That's a good mistake to make, because you can always eat that mistake. But if you don't do it and something goes wrong, you'll have nothing to eat. May you have a very blessed day.